Hello, 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 John Mason. How is everybody? Well, the elections are over, and the red wave, what red wave? The Democratic Party still has control of the Senate. The election in Georgia between Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker is still pretty close to call, but let's do what we can to support Warnock. Herschel Walker. What the hell were the Republicans thinking about sending out Herschel Walker to be their candidate for the United States Senate from Georgia? Did they really think they were going to get the African American vote? Or does Herschel Walker fulfill their stereotype of African Americans? I mean, the man is ignorant and a human disaster. I mean, he campaigns against abortions under all circumstances, no exceptions, not even for rape or incest. And he paid for 2 abortions from women he got pregnant. And how is that for family values? Huh? And each and every one of the candidates that Donald Trump has supported have failed. I'm thinking primarily of in Pennsylvania, where the Senate, Dr. Mehmet Oz or Ooze or whatever from New Jersey, got trounced by a real Pennsylvanian, John Fetterman, and Doug Mastriano, a state senator who was a election denialist and participant in the January 6th riot, got trounced by Josh Shapiro. And those are some of the many Trump defeats, including the elections for Secretary of State. Those are the officials in the state who supervise the election system in their states. Each and every one of those candidates got defeated because they were election denialists, that they were actually going to bias the whole election system in favor of MAGA Republicans. And so you see the Republican Party and its officials getting ready to abandon Trump, throw Trump under the bus, whatever metaphor you want to use. Just eliminate him because he served their purpose. He was useful to them in passing the billions of dollars in tax cuts for the wealthy and corporations back in 2018. And they were all, or was it 2017? Anyway, a day which will live in infamy. And the Republicans were all celebrating and partying and smiling their faces off. Working people in this country, low-income people, got screwed over again in corporations who don't give a rat's ass about the public, the consumer, or the worker, or the taxpayer. They were the big winners. And the gap between rich and poor in this country gets wider and wider. The middle class gets smaller and smaller. And they're so confident that there's not going to be any civil war or social unrest, is there? That we're going to just put up with it and take it. Are we? I don't think so. But anyway, they know the Trump brand, they finally realized, the Republican Party, that the Trump brand is toxic and are going to move beyond it. But the model is Trumpism without Trump. And we're looking at that at Ron DeSantis in Florida, again, 4 more years as governor. And it should be interesting. It should be interesting, I think, to see DeSantis and Trump at each other's throats, tearing down the Republican Party while they try to run for president. And I see the pathetic efforts of Mike Pence to sanitize his history. Yes, he could have been killed in that riot on January 6th, with the mob screaming, "Hang Mike Pence! Hang Mike Pence!" And he did do the right thing in certifying the Electoral College results. But he had no choice. He could not invalidate the Electoral College votes because it's a ceremony. It was a ceremonial function. He couldn't do otherwise. But all during the Trump administration, he was the biggest bootlicker and ass kisser in the whole lot of them. I remember now the image of the cabinet meeting where Pence heaps all this fulsome praise upon Trump. What a great honor it is to be serving under you. And this is the man who calls himself a born-again Christian. But what do you expect from a man who's part of a movement that has decided to bootlick and stick up to Donald Trump, who has a whole history of cheating on his taxes, his business dealings, his wives, and his golf? A man of no honor or integrity, who doesn't hesitate to make the most perverted statements about women, including his own daughter, who bragged about because he's a celebrity, he can grab women any way he wants, and it's all on the Access Hollywood tape. He thought he could get away with it, but the Christian right movement, the evangelical Christians, have shown their corruption, have shown how decadent they've become by supporting Donald Trump. Why? So they have federal judges in place who would invalidate Roe v. Wade, and they got it. The Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. And women are going to cheerfully accept having to carry a fetus within them for 9 months, no matter whether or not the fetus is dead, whether or not the fetus is viable, whether or not they can afford it, whether or not the baby will be stillborn, whether or not they have to carry until the mother gets a case of sepsis and it almost kills her, then they get the abortion. Women are just going to accept that. Nope, nope, nope. So let's pat ourselves on the back. But let's remember, let's pat ourselves on the back for defeating them. But let's remember, the Republican Party has been leading up to this since the campaign of Barry Goldwater in 1964, when Goldwater came out against the Civil Rights Act, and when Nixon came out with the Southern Strategy, trying to appease racist white voters in the South without specifically saying the N-word, without being specifically racist, making hints about urban crime and law and order or peace in the streets, etc. Relying on people's racial stereotypes in their heads to to carry the message through. And with Ronald Reagan in Philadelphia, Mississippi, there's the town in Mississippi where 3 civil rights activists were killed in 1964, Goodman, Cheney, and Schwerner, because they were registering black people to vote. In 1980, Reagan proclaimed right there, "I believe in states' rights." And that was the pre-Civil War signal for the right to maintain slavery. And after the Civil War, the right to continue the Jim Crow system of oppression of black people. And it was carried on by that genteel Yankee upper crust scion, George H.W. Bush, with the campaign around Willie Nelson. Willie Horton. Forgive me, Willie Nelson. Willie Horton. And now it's continued with the birther movement around Obama. The idea that a black person simply could not be president of the United States, no way. With the idea that he was really a Muslim from Kenya, even though he kept showing the paperwork that he was born in Hawaii. And then it was further developed by Donald Trump. The Tea Party move was part and parcel of that. I mean, all these campaigns against so-called excessive spending is historically shown to be another dog whistle campaign against minorities, asserting their rights. And again, like I said, Donald Trump goes down the escalator and campaigns against dark-skinned immigrants from Mexico as the rapists, murderers. Some I have few, I assume are good people. And the Republican Party did all during the impeachment hearings, did everything they could to protect Trump. Why? Because of his base. They were afraid of his base. And he was useful to them in bringing out voters and stoking their racism so they can continue to vote Republican. He was good enough, but the Republican Party isn't clean on this. The Republican Party bears responsibility for continuing to develop Donald Trump as their candidate and their president, and still enabling him. And you see how the Republican Party has further eroded. The MAGAs have taken over. The old hacks can't control it anymore. And there's going to be a bloodbath between the old conservative hacks, McConnell, McCarthy, and the MAGAs. And trust me, I have no doubt that they deserve it. The Republican Party deserves this. It needs to self-destruct. And let's not cry over its demise. And on that cheery note, advertisements. Hemperific is a lovely little CBD product store on Snyder Avenue near 15th Street in South Philadelphia. There you'll find some of the finest cannabis products. Flower and gummies and candies and teas and lip balm and hand sanitizer and dog treats. Look them up, please. hemperificllc.com. And I now talk up my beloved career and business coach, Michelle Snow. Michelle is excellent in helping you develop your professional career and your business, let you know what you're doing right, where you need work, and help you network with other up-and-coming professionals and small businesses. Look her up, please. growwithsnow.com. Okay. Alrighty then. That's it for now. More to come. Let's stay safe, stay strong, and stay together. And America will be free. Bye.